to a question about you. What the hell do you do in the company? What's your
Um,
role? I often wonder what do I do
yeah.
in Cred also.
Yeah. I'm curious to hear your answer as well. Uh, apart from posting all those Instagram stories, what do I do? I think I can't take credit for most of the things that happen because they're all done by other people. I think what I do is find the best people and try and build an environment where they can work together and collaborate. And if they fight, I need to break up the fights and figure out how to solve that. So how to
How often do you get into a fight resolution situation per week?
maybe just once a month,
Okay,
not
cool.
not that frequent. But I think because our challenge is so big, we need to keep bringing in the best people from all around the industry. And the talent density is already quite good. The guy that used to run design at Dyson joined us a couple of months ago, and a lot of industry veterans. Manu here, VP at Samsung, joined us to lead the India business. But the same story is happening all across the world. So I think people is bringing the best people should be my main focus.
Um, what are the traits of mediocre talent?
What are the traits of
And I'm
mediocre
sure you've
talent?
had a bunch of them in your life and made that mistake. There must be some patterns that now that you have become built filter for. What are those traits?
It goes back a bit to gut feeling. I'm not able to distill it right now, but let me think.
Or show me some symptoms that the mediocre talent is likely to show.
One symptom is not knowing the details. You're responsible for something, you should know every single detail. Maybe I'm not going to ask you, but if I do, then if you don't know, then probably not doing it. If you're in a, you should be able to bring a lot of great people with you. If you can't, must be something wrong. The better you are, I think, the better you're able to work with high-level talent and not have conflicts. I think great people really enjoy working with great people. Things become very easy, like a pro athlete working with another pro athlete. I think ownership, total ownership, like this is your company. Like it's all our company. We're just trying to build this together. I think that's really important. I think a very, very strong separation between work and free time is more often than not a very bad sign. It's cool. I mean, I think for some companies, like especially huge corporates, it's fine. You just need like cogs in the wheel. But we're so small, we need people who want to build together. That's what I can think of right now.
So this is good. This is a very good list.
I would love to hear your insights.
Uh, I think very similar. I just want to talk about the detail thing. One of the senior Google leaders explained this to me in a very interesting way, saying that if you see a person walking with a pet, it's very easy to assume that they are the owner or the parent of this pet. But it can just be also a pet walker. And the only way you find out is to know that do you know all the quirks about this dog, that this person will gonna cause a reaction from this dog. This person is gonna make the dog go and play with this person, or they're not gonna eat this. Although you've not seen this behavior, a pet owner knows through gut what's going to be the behavior of the product that they are owning. And this is the example of what you just got. It's not just about owning detail, but also predicting accurately how they'll
That's
do it.
right. Judgment, quality.
Yep.
I
Yep.
forgot to say that, but
Yes.
being right very often
Yes.
is a sign of great talent.
Other thing I've seen in mediocre talent is uh, just complete lack of curiosity. They're just not curious. And they have guardrails to their curiosity. They will not go randomly be curious about things. Why can't we learn from Nike to launch a phone brand? Absolutely, we can. Or launch a payments product. You can always learn from that, but most people have defined boundaries. Second is terrible at taking help. They just don't know how to take help. They think it's beneath them or they are ashamed of it. They think that, I have noticed that when you tell them to take help, they feel offended. And I'm like, why wouldn't you want to play life on cheat mode and just learn from somebody who's already been through that experience versus go through that experience yourself? Taking things very personally. They're very easy to offend,
Yeah.
insanely easy to offend. It's not objective. They take feedback poorly. Actually, I have seen one consistent trait. For some reason, we also hate giving feedback to mediocre people. Like we resist giving feedback to them because you feel that it's pointless, and they will not take it in the right spirit. But that's all I can think about. But your list was actually quite interesting. Another thing is about validation. Where does the validation come from? So a lot of people have this external thing on other people appreciating them. That's when they know they've done a good job, versus them knowing for sure that they've done a good job.
Yeah.
Their measurement system is just off.
Internal versus external.
External.
Yeah.
So that's my list. But I did not prepare for this, so this is just.
Yeah. But what do you do at Cred?
Before we spoke, he asked me, how do you source your memes? So he wants to know my dealers. Some of the dealers are from the team. Some of them are from other places. But
Gotta hook me up.
the network effects are so strong that now I have people who DM me with great memes. It's like, Kunal, you have to post this one. I'm like, you get my heart for giving that to me. But what I do is I'm trying to make the team ambitious on a full-time basis. It's very hard. In India, it's very easy for us to become very happy and content. The society has been trained to be content and be okay with things and not push limits. That's one thing I do. Second is mostly try to compound people by constant feedback or mostly telling them that what they've done is shit. Some of them take it in the right spirit and compound with it. I've seen naturally people who are interested in feedback over a period of time need less feedback. It's weird. Their cycles just shorten and they don't repeat the same mistakes. Some people just don't carry the feedback at all. They just miss the point. The last thing I do is constantly imagine the company 3-5 years out with complete clarity and constantly disseminate that to the team that I see this and I can see that opportunity and it's so big. Most of the times, it's hard for the team to see it the same way. So it's mostly persuading people to see it because your gut is telling you that and you don't have any data. So a lot of times I'm collecting some data points to make it easy for people to see it because it can't be just gut driven all the time. Although you have the history of being right a lot, but you can't just keep leading a team of high talent density by saying that, trust me, I know this is going to work and let's do it, because they will not build their gut. They have to also put this. And Carl, I realized that, and I tweeted about this also, that you can't build substance in life unless you're consistently putting your wealth, reputation, and health at stake.
Yeah.
Only when you are putting these three things, obviously health is not the best thing to put at stake, but reputation and wealth, unless you're putting these things at stake. What I am most surprised about, though, is a lot of young people in India are worried about the reputation when they have none.
All over the world.
All over the world. I think there is something that has gone off. Maybe it's social media that has done to them, that they're worried about their reputation and status when they have built nothing of it yet. And they're not taking risks because of that. They are not pushing the limits and boundaries on things. And that remains as a big fascinating thing. Because, I mean, at least I remember I grew up in a time when I had no social media to keep up to. And that's why I overdo it now. But the thing is, I did not have to care about having a reputation to protect. I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to capture as much experience as possible in the shortest possible time. And I was in a big hurry. And I see people are so careful and cautious and scared and avoiding confrontation when all the reputational skills come from just building some of these things and going through that process. Anyways, I'm going to switch to some questions from the team. So this question from Surbhi and Devansh. what is your framework to make decisions when it comes to launching your products? What are some of your operating principles? I know you've covered some of them, but would love to still hear some of it.
Well, going back to being an insect in the animal kingdom, we first need to recognize that. I think a lot of companies share the same end state vision that we do, a complete ecosystem or even maybe ambient computing far into the future. But there's different ways of getting there. And we're very, very late to the industry. There's brands that are